community, work life, home life, pop culture, access, the Black Bay experience. Ooh, what's up, Bay Area? You know what it is. It's your girl, Cammie. Welcome to the Black Bay Experience, where we highlight all things regarding the Black existence, the Black experience, and Black empowerment in the Bay Area. We need a platform to come together. So let's get right into it. Charles Barkley took a shot at the city of San Francisco during the NBA 73rd All-Star Game. During a discussion of the icy weather in Indianapolis, where the game was being played, Barkley posed a question from out of left field, asking if you had a chance between being cold or being around a bunch of homeless crooks in San Francisco, which would you take? Over the objections of his co-commentators, the analyst added, you can't even walk around there. Draymond Green, the Bay Area's people's champ, a power forward who plays for the Golden State Warriors, took exception, protesting that you can, in fact, walk around the city. Then Barkley shot back, yeah, with a bulletproof vest. Barkley's long-standing hatred for the Bay Area is well documented, with the 11th-time All-Star player ripping it on air as a hellhole in 2013 and as a dirty-ass city in 2022. As recently as this year's All-Star game, he made sure to note that San Francisco was not one of the great cities during TNT's tip-off broadcast. Relax, Green snapped in response. That's why you're not welcome there. Now, Charles Charlie Brown Barkley, aka Lucky Chucky, as the luckiest man in the NBA, I'm sure you felt like you had to take the lead on bashing my city, the city of San Francisco. As we are proud that you've hustled your way all the way up to the commentary spotlight, we understand that you're a Republican married to a Becky. Therefore, you are not our biggest fan, and you would never be and could never be. But in the words of Will Smith, keep my city's name out your mouth. Let me give you a little advice. As far as the NBA All-Star game next year, take a sick day. We'll be right back with San Francisco's homeless crisis. One of the primary causes of homelessness in San Francisco is insufficient supply of affordable housing. Mass homelessness has several contributing factors, including economic dislocation, reduced social safety nets, failed housing policy, mass incarceration, family instability, and other individual causes, including mental health and physical wellness. Reasons cited for homelessness in the 2019 survey commissioned by the city of San Francisco included job loss at 26%, alcohol and drug use at 18%, eviction at 13%, arguments that lead to being asked to leave a friend or family's home. We all know how that goes, at 12%, mental health issues at 8%, and divorce and separation at 5%. 70% of people homeless in San Francisco in 2019 reported most recently becoming homeless while living in San Francisco. 22% came from another county within California, and 8% came from another state. However, of the 70% who had become homeless while living in San Francisco, 45% had only been in San Francisco for 10 years or less, and 6% had only been in San Francisco for 1 year or less. The reasons coming from outside of San Francisco at the time of homelessness includes seeking a job at 25%, the LGBT acceptance at 11%, accessing homeless services at 22%, visiting and deciding to stay at 17%, accessing VA services or clinics at 5%, and moving with family and friends at 13%. So, long story short, San Francisco has always been a city of refuge. So, please stop blaming San Francisco's homelessness on Black natives. Also, as of 2019, the city was believed to have over 8,000 homeless residents, with approximately 3,000 homeless children in the district, with most of them attending the San Francisco Unified School District. Additionally, more than 5,000 of the homeless population in the Bay Area were reported as unsheltered. Since the 1960s, San Francisco and the surrounding Bay Area have enacted strict zoning regulations, which have suppressed the number of new homes. Among other restrictions, San Francisco does not allow buildings over 40 feet tall in most of the city and has passed laws making it easier for residents to block developments. Partly as a result of these codes, the Bay Area issues building permits for only half of the number of needed houses based on the area's population growth. In 2002, the San Francisco Planning Department launched the Eastern Neighborhoods Community Planning Process to resolve recognized land use conflicts in several San Francisco neighborhoods. This process was focused on the rezoning of historical industrial lands for new residential uses, but was unresponsive to neighborhood concerns of unaffordable housing, residential and job displacement, gentrification, public safety, and inadequate open space. Only those who could afford these limited new housing units were able to access housing, causing socioeconomically disadvantaged and ethnic minority groups to either seek housing in under-resourced neighborhoods of San Francisco, such as the Tenderloin, or lose housing completely, leading to poor health outcomes for marginalized populations. Adopted in 2008, the plan banned housing development in large areas to preserve land for light industrial uses. However, neighborhoods like Bayview Hunters Point are surrounded by some of the largest standing sources of industrial operations in the country. Since the plan was adopted, both homelessness and the housing crisis have worsened. Now let's talk about gentrification. Gentrification in the San Francisco Bay Area is an increasing concern. With the emergence of a new Oakland, the African American population has decreased significantly from 2000 to 2010. During this period, there has been a push to kick out homeless people from government funded housing, which has further caused many landlords to halt renting to Section 8 tenants. According to a report done in 2015, 41% of homeless people who were surveyed in Oakland became homeless after the age of 50, which is likely due to rising housing prices and the loss of safety nets such as Section 8 and other housing programs. The ongoing gentrification in the San Francisco Bay Area is deepening structural divisions. The rapid economic growth of the tech industry in San Francisco and nearby Silicon Valley has created hundreds of thousands of new jobs. The resultant high demand for housing, combined by the lack of supply caused by systemic racial zoning, has caused dramatic increases in rents and extremely high housing prices, adding to the already developing housing crisis. For example, in 2012 to 2017, San Francisco added 400,000 new jobs, but only 60,000 new housing units. Even though real income rates in the Bay Area have been increasing over time, it was published in 2011 by the American Journal of Economics and Sociology that due to an even higher increases in rent rates, low income residents are still left with less leftover income after covering their rental payments. Additionally, gentrification affects health outcomes of individuals and families being displaced. Now, what does that look like? You said it, tent encampments everywhere you look. Homeless populations are especially susceptible to physical and mental illness due to their lack of shelter and social safety nets. Not only are homeless populations more exposed to infectious diseases, injuries, and psychosocial pressures that lead to mental health issues, but they rarely receive adequate care from the San Francisco area healthcare system. As victims of social and structural disenfranchisement, many displaced individuals resort to drug use and drug related social communities as coping strategies. Homelessness in San Francisco is correlated with increased rates of substance abuse, including methamphetamine, black tar heroin, crack cocaine, and fentanyl. They are the most common illegal drugs found on today's San Francisco city streets. San Francisco's homeless youth experiences high rates of psychiatric disorders and substance abuse, contributing to the rise in the fentanyl overdose crisis. A cycle of poverty and drug abuse contributes to the growth of the homeless population, a population many homeless feel they cannot escape. San Francisco streets are littered with drug syringes, trash, and feces, resulting in a level of contamination much greater than the communities in Brazil, Kenya, or India. The city spends approximately $30 million per year on the removal of feces and contaminated needles. Of the 400,000 needles distributed monthly, San Francisco receives around 246,000 back, meaning that there are roughly 150,000 discarded needles unaccounted for each month, or nearly 2 million per year. The belief that drug abuse is the root cause of homelessness is simply not true. However, the reverse, in fact, is more accurate, whereby most people on the streets are living with some sort of structural trauma, meaning they've lost their job, can't afford housing, or have been evicted by a landlord. Structural trauma causes deep personal effects that can lead to living on the streets and trigger drug abuse. Now let's dive into the life of a tent city resident. Crime and violence within tent cities and homeless communities, including rival homeless encampments and individuals, has been an issue amongst homeless populations across the Bay Area. Additionally, there has been notable cases of homeless unhoused people crimes that received higher press. The horrible killing of Nia Wilson, a young 18-year-old Black woman murdered on a BART train by a homeless 27-year-old man with severe mental illness, was an incident that brought concern over homelessness, mental illness, racial issues, and violence within the community. My whole heart still goes out to the Wilson family. I remember the entire Black community in the Bay Area having to come together to fight for justice for young Nia and accountability for the white man that took her life as they used his mental state as a scapegoat. There needs to be an equitable accountability and responsibility for the heightened increase of homelessness and its impacts on the city of San Francisco. We'll be right back with an exclusive, insightful tour of the streets of my city, San Francisco.
What's up, Bay Area?
What's up, Bay Area?
Real life shit.
Yes, real life shit.
Real life shit.
Just ask people what I do.
What's up, Taylor? Thank you for sharing your world with the Black Bay Experience. I have one question for you. What could the city of San Francisco do to help you and your condition out here in the streets of San Francisco?
Provide more housing and assistance where they're not demanding us to go in and leave everything or take our stuff when we go in there and then kick us out, because it's irrelevant to even try if you're just going to let us come in and take our stuff and then kick us out back to the street. So I think that should definitely be the number one demand, is the housing and the people who are working with the housing to be at least better at what they're doing, or like chosen to be different people or something. It's all bad. Yep.
Right on, Taylor. Larry, are you from San Francisco?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so what brought you to San Francisco?
The drugs?
Huh?
The drugs?
Oh, okay. Well, hey, we got the cream of the crop really from the hillbilly days, So,
Yeah.
okay, so now that you're here in this condition, you're a San Francisco transient native. What can the city of San Francisco do to help you get on your feet?
The same thing as they're doing, but a little bit better. They take us in, house us, and then they take all our shit and then they throw us out with nothing. So they need to do something better than that.
Right on. What's up, Jeff? Are you from San Francisco?
I'm not. I'm from a couple hours away.
Okay, well, welcome. What can the city of San Francisco do to help you transition and get on your feet?
Well, I've been here for like the last 3 years and off and on, like leaving, coming back. But and I've also been I stayed at the Fifth and Bryant MSC homeless shelter for a little bit, off and on there as well. Well, I currently use, fentanyl with the whole like fentanyl outbreak. Most people like me are using fentanyl. I, I guess just like a lot of people don't realize this. Like a lot of people think that it's near impossible to quit, or they just kind of don't know what steps to take. There is actually, compared to other cities, I think, in my opinion, a good amount of resources here already, but there could be more. And I guess more like information versus just, because there is, things that are there that I didn't know were a couple years ago, especially like I'm pretty young. And when I got here, I was 17, turning 18. And I did not know that there was a shelter. I didn't know about the youth services for someone my age. A lot of things that I look back on and I just wish, because I was sleeping in an alleyway at the time, and my friend, my girlfriend that was my age, she also didn't. We were living a lot rougher than we could have been. So I guess just being able to versus, like, I have a lot of people that come up to me and offer me, shelter for the night, or like versus like they didn't even tell me that I can just go to the food stamp office and I can get a guaranteed bed at one of the shelters that are here. So just that like outreach and just more knowledge, because a lot of them are really invested in the one thing, but everybody's different, everybody's needs are a little different. So I wish people, there was people that were really informative or had the information themselves to spread the knowledge of how to get into these opportunities. And whatever I'm offered, I always find something better normally. And so I just wish there was that information. I also didn't know that, they're and this isn't necessarily just the San Francisco, but with the medical field, a lot of times they don't tell you, like, Suboxone itself is not the best. And even methadone is better, but it's not the best. I'd say, like, Subutex, and it took me years to learn that. Without the Narcan and the drug, you're able to just wait 24 hours and then take it. And for me, it works great to wean off it. The whole near impossible thing, it removes that aspect. It helps a lot. And Suboxone, with the Narcan in it, it takes 4 or 5 days before you can even take it. And by that point, you're already damn near done, already went through all that pain to quit. And so I wish, that information was there for me. Other than that, I mean, there is a lot of resources here. I'm sure, certain specific things, I could think of something. But just in general, that, like, the information help spread. If there was somebody, I wish there's people that were, actually maybe certified in a way that came up to me versus, just trying to volunteer, trying to help with what they do know, which those people are very cool and very nice, but a lot of times they don't necessarily lead you in the best path or options that they could.
Right on, Jeff.
Today on Bay Area Supports, we are highlighting top-tier hair bundles, providing top-quality, double-weft virgin hair bundles to salon owners, hairstylists, store owners, and clients. You can reach them on Instagram at Top Tier Hair Bundles. DM to order. We are so glad to share this space with you here at the Black Bay Experience. Be sure to follow us on all major social media platforms. Like the videos, drop a comment. Thank you for tuning in. See you next week, right here, same time, same place on the Black Bay Experience.